Hi there. In this video, I will talk about OpenClaw, Cloud Code, anti-gravity. Starting with OpenClaw, I'm using it for 60 days. I deployed it on a server and wasted almost 3 weeks just to configure all the settings to make it safe and secure because you must have heard that it is highly insecure or risky project. Yes, it is. But now it has improved a lot. The team behind it or the community behind it is growing every single day. OpenClaw, Alternative, Peacock Law, Xerox Law, and lots of other things. I tried all these options and I decided, okay, I'll stick with OpenClaw because it gives me lots of flexibility and there is a huge community behind it. Every day we are seeing people using it for different use cases, for personal life, for business management. OpenClaw is your personal assistant, or you can say a Jarvis or an operating system. There are lots of things people are saying about it, and most of the things are correct. But in my opinion, it is a strong architecture where we have agent runtime, we have gateway. I'll show you more about the architecture. Before we dive deep into this thing and give it access to our local machine or server, we need to understand few things which make it so powerful and why people are going crazy about it. As you see, as of 6th March 2026, this repo has almost 271k GitHub stars. And this is history. This is not Instagram or YouTube where you see lots of huge numbers. This GitHub repo is the most starred repo in the history of GitHub. It just became the number one. What is OpenClaw? So first thing is, OpenClaw is a personal AI assistant you run on your device. And it answers you on the channels you already use. WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, Discord, iMessage, Microsoft Teams, Twitch, Zello. So whatever you already using, you just text it like a friend and it do work for you. That's the superpower of OpenClaw. If you want a personal single user assistant that feels local, fast, and always on, this is it. And we never had such things. We have cloud code, anti-gravity, lots of coding assistants, which I think are capable of doing what it is doing. In fact, this is a kind of an alternative of cloud code, but I think both are very different products and cater to different audiences. OpenClaw, it's risky, so big companies may not allow it in your systems, but it's getting secure day by day. Maybe after a few months, everybody is using the OpenClaw inside the business also. But for current version of OpenClaw, it is not that beneficial for companies. If your company is giving you access to cloud code, it's better to work on cloud code for your 9 to 5 job. Do not install this thing into your work laptops. And I suggest do not install it in your main laptop also. So what I'm doing is I gave it a new Apple ID. I removed all my personal information, passwords, and credit cards and stuff from my MacBook. I cleaned it, then I installed it. And even before that, I played with it for 3 weeks on a Google machine. I shared all my learnings on my LinkedIn. You can go there and see what I was building. I'm also sharing live use cases and I'm building it in public. So if you want to try it, just give it a try. It's very addictive, to be honest. You don't need to buy a Mac Mini. You can use it in your machine as a background service like I'm doing. Or you have a hosting a Cloudflare, or if you are comfortable with AWS EC2 or Google GCP virtual machines, you can prefer cloud option also. But in my opinion, it is built for local devices and it's way secure on local device than a virtual server. Now it's getting that security. I prefer to run it locally. I know when my laptop is not switched on, it will switch off my OpenClaw instance also. But that's fine. I use it as a personal assistant when I'm working on my laptop. I know ways to make my laptop available for 24/7 when I'm running campaigns with OpenClaw. It's possible to keep your machine awake 24/7, but still it's a barrier. But I like that. It also uses lots of RAM in your machine. So if you have less than 6 GB or 8 GB RAM, it occupied around 500 MB to 1 GB RAM. So that's the kind of system you need. If you want absolute free for 1 year, use EC2 instance from AWS or just install it into your machine with proper boundaries. You can always limit its access. It's not like a sci-fi movie There are ways you can use it, but if you are a non-technical person who never used it and want to try it, maybe hosting is a better option for you. Once you are good with it, there are ways you can host your version of OpenClaw on a GitHub repo, then use that repo and move it back to your laptop. That's how I did. I'm thinking to buy a Mac Mini because I just want to feel the experience and give it full access to all the Apple ecosystem and just want to try it. Second key thing is this works natively on your terminal. It uses terminal commands. So that's why it's risky and efficient at the same time. If you give it root access, which is it can write commands and delete anything from your system, even critical information, then it's risky. But there are ways you can limit that. If you talk to it through a Telegram bot, it still cannot run any command if you do not allow it to do that. So it's CLI first. And now you already know that the founder of this project is hired by OpenAI. That also makes it a long-term project because most of the open source projects, you cannot rely on that until or unless it is like NA10. And between NA10 and this open source, the main difference is the MIT license. It is MIT license, which means you can use the code, you can convert it into any form. You have your own version of it and you can sell it. People are selling Zero Claw and all other versions. You cannot white label or you can say modify Cloud Code or anti-gravity. That's why this project got my attention and I was hooked. Let's talk about the architecture of OpenClaw. When I send a message to my OpenClaw, it passes through a gateway. Then it uses Spy agents. Spy agents are another open source project. This is important, the workspace and the skills. This is born of how it uses your local machine, creating different folders, markdown files. OpenClaw uses markdown files a lot. Once you start working on it day and night, keep track of this repo. That's why I'm working on here. And see, there are huge people working on it. This was all the good stuff. Now let me tell you in my experience in last 60 days, when I started working it, it felt magical. Just texting it on Telegram and my laptop was working for me. Then I realized it start using hell lots of tokens. I can show you my open router. So first problem is burning tokens day and night. When you install it, it burns lots of token. As you see, I can show you from February 4, I use open router and see in day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. It spent 77 million in one day. 75 million. Then I got some offline because I was working on behind the scenes. Then on one day, on 15th February, it consumed 139 million. And I was like, this is not a free thing and this is not for everybody because if it is using this much, there's no way it is economical for everyone, which is heartbreaking for me. Then I worked on the token optimization, model routing, using different models. As you see, I have used different models here. I use Kimi 2.5, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and Gemini 3 Flash Pro. And I haven't used more costlier LLMs using Open Router. And I don't even recommend you do that because if I have used this thing, now my cost is $67 for this 446 million. It could have been around $1,000 if I spent this much tokens on Anthropic. That's why people are using their $20 subscription or max plan of Anthropic and directing that tokens using OpenClaw, and Anthropic is banning those kind of use cases. They are giving you max plan inside their ecosystem with lots of token, and that's not enough tokens, to be honest, to run this kind of ecosystem day and night. This is a huge problem. I solved it with compressing the memory, refining how it stores, how it initiate the conversation, and how many tokens it is sending. It was sending around 500,000 tokens in one API request to Open Router, and I was like, how it can do that? Like, how is it possible? So I dig deep into it and find there are lots of things. And that's why out of box, it is not that optimized. That's why you need regular upgrading the system, playing with it, breaking it, testing it. If you are that kind of person, then this is for you. If you want something to just set it free, then hire somebody who can do these things or use Cloud Code or anti-gravity. But I highly recommend you to give it a try. The second problem is it starts forgetting things. You are talking to it and switching topics in one chat. I was running an email campaign, writing content and testing it for more automations. Then it just gave up. It got confused And when I start a new session with it, or when I try to compress the context, it was useless. I was so disappointed that I'm working on this thing. This is a tool. It's supposed to work for me. Like they said that the AI that actually does things. But to make it useful, I spent lots of time. I was so disappointed that I deleted everything and didn't touch it for almost 7 days. Then I come back and I figure out that the solution is multi-agent routing. So multi-agent is each agent has its own workspace, its own cron jobs, its own style. For example, one sub-agent for researching the content, one is writing the content, third is writing the sales things, fourth is creating visual storytellings, and you can go on like this. I see that people were selling, okay, it comes with 2000, 3000 pre-built skills, and when you give an agent more than 7 8 skills, it start confusing itself. It start increasing the context and start burning lots of tokens. I'll dig deep in future videos about how you can build multi-agent and those kind of things. So this was the solution I found. I'm still working on it. Then the other solution was having different sessions for different topics. If you see, I have these agents, and this is a shared folder between all this. Then Vision has its own tools, its own agents, Steve, Peter, and these are the skills. I have lots of Google skills. The third problem was related to skills. This is where people are adding the skills, and this is official skill hub from OpenClaw community, but people are prompt injecting into a system, and that's a huge security risk. Let's say if it has an email ID where people are emailing it, and in that email they are writing some instructions which your agent will perform inside your terminal and inside your machine and can reveal your system's information to anyone. That's an issue with all kind of agentic platforms. So there are ways you can manage that. But before you download skills, always make sure that it is safe. Now they partner with this security scan company, but still, I'll highly recommend you to create your own skills. There is a skill creator skill by default into OpenClaw when you installed it. So use your own skills, or read through everything and see if these files have some hidden instructions, or just give this document to your anti-gravity or Cloud Code or Gemini and tell it to scan it for prompt injecting. Because if you download the skills, it's like you are inviting a hacker from your friend door, right? From email, you can stop it. Just don't give it capabilities to act on your emails without you in the loop. That way you can safeguard yourself from prompt injecting. And if you are scanning each skill from this OpenClaw hub, that's the second chance you have to safeguard it. Now let me show you how can you install it into your local machine. So one liner way, copy it and paste it in your terminal here. This will not give you the source code. So I prefer Hackable. What it will do is it will download your source code. I'll show you. This .openclaw is where your agent is working or agents are working, and there's a folder called OpenClaw. This one. This folder has all the code of OpenClaw, which you can break, twist. You can do anything, right? This is how you modify it and create your own version of OpenClaw. Now it's self-guided process. It will guide you. It is already installed in my system. Once it's installed, you type OpenClaw onboard, and it will take you through onboarding process. Continue, quick start. I already have it, so I use existing. Then you add your model provider here. Let me talk about the models. You can use your ChatGPT subscription, Anthropic, you can use that. And there are lots of Chinese model. I'm using Moonshot AI, Kimi 2.5. For Moonshot, you go to kimi.com and get the APIs for Kimi 2.5 and other models. There are lots of API providers. What you can do is you start with Open Router or a subscription if you have it. I prefer Open Router. You can come anytime, and if you write this OpenClaw onboard inside your terminal, it will start the process again, and you can change this anytime. I already have it. Once your LLM is connected, you need to add interface to interact with it. Telegram, WhatsApp, Slack. This is how you connect it. To get a Telegram, you go to Telegram and you find bot father. And in bot father, a new bot. How are you going to call it? Let me try Manoj OpenClaw for bot. I got this. So next thing I needed this API key here. Never share this with anyone. Open here, copy this, go to your terminal, Telegram bot API, just paste it there. Right now I'm leaving it because I already have it. Then it asks about the skills. Configure skills now. I don't have these APIs, but you just keep going on one step at a time. Take your time for the first time, and then you enable hooks. I already have this, so I'll skip for now. Then it says restart. Once you restart it, it will start working. This is web UI option. Then I say do this later. Now my onboarding is complete. I can text it from my Telegram. Hi. So it's typing, hey, what's the mission? The thing I love about Telegram is I put slash and see what's the status. It will tell me about what is the context, session ID, and those kind of things. If I say which models I have, I only have one. But if you have multiple different providers, you can select it. You don't need to go back to your laptop. You can manage it from here, from slash commands. That's why this is so user friendly. Once it's up and running, then you just talk to it. Like from here, then it will use all your laptop and give you the response. If you don't know about these commands, just right here, open claw. You just remember this and see all other commands, you can read it from here, what it can do. Then what you need to do is write open claw. I want to check memory. So what I do here is open claw memory. It give me the information about memory, right? So if you want to check about other things, models, so these are equivalent to these slash commands. This is the way you play with it. And now you just talk to it. In next part, I'm going to talk about how you're going to use the code of it. For that, you need anti-gravity. Just type anti-gravity. I like anti-gravity because it gives me lots of free AI. And this is by Google and I love this product. So you just go to anti-gravity, just download it and install it. Once you installed it, open the anti-gravity. I'll show you. So this is how you see it. Once you open it, you see this. This is your Explorer section where you just click on different files and it will open here. Now what you need to do is file, open folder. This is my code, right? I already have working lots of things. So you can see I can, if I click on any file, open it here, right? If I click anywhere, it will open it here. So this is where you see your files. This is your chatbot from anti-gravity. This is your agent. You can select any model. These are free AI. I'm using Pro plan of Google Workspace. If you are a Cloud Code person, go to extension and write Cloud Code. Just install it here. And once you install it, you see it here. See this. Now, this is your Cloud Code. This is your anti-gravity. This is where you work with different coding assistants. And just say if you are having some issue while onboarding and things, just come here and paste that error. It already has all the files of the code. It will understand everything and keep working from here. Then this is gateway. I have already shown you. If you don't want to work with all the things, then this is the second thing. But I highly recommend you to have an ID where you can do all these things, run different coding agent. OpenClaw agents are not that good for coding. So I don't write much code with OpenClaw. I use Cloud Code or Anti-Gravity. Once you have all three, what I did is I wrote a Gemini.md and Cloud.md, and that file is connected to the OpenClaw workspace. So Cloud Code and Anti-Gravity agents are having access to same sol.md, identity.md, user.md files so that everyone is on same page. I use the strengths of Cloud Code for heavy coding, backend coding, those kind of things. Anti-Gravity is for editing the code, editing the files, writing the content, running lots of MCPs. You can have different skills for Cloud Code, different skills for anti-gravity, depending on the use cases you are performing through these different platforms. And if you combine it with one another, it's a really heavy machine. All the files are inside your laptop or on your server. It's not leaving anything. If you want to go total local, you can host LLMs. Your agents are running inside your machine. If you host a LLM on your machine, if you have that configuration like Kimi 2.5, you can run it from your local machine, but it needs at least 250 GB RAM. So they're not economical to host it on your machine, and now you are losing the performance of your machine. So I prefer LLM through APIs, and everything else is inside my machine. When you're not doing more personal work, then you can use free LLMs. Otherwise, every free LLM, if you are using it through any API, it is using your data to train their models. So be aware of what kind of information you are sharing with free LLM APIs. So I think these are the things on top of my mind. In next videos, I'll show you how I'm using it, and whatever problem I'm facing, I'll write it inside my school community, inside my AI Avengers Lab, which is a paid membership group, and I build live there. And we support each other, and people are building really good stuff. If you want to join my school, I have a free option and a paid option. You can just click on the links and join it. I'll keep sharing my learnings there. And we are planning to record more videos on anti-gravity, cloud code, and OpenClaw this year so that you can use this powerful technology, which is new but very efficient, and uplift your work, uplift your 9 to 5 job or your business, whatever the way you want it. You want to save time, it can do that. If you want to be more productive and you can finish your 4 hours of work within 30 minutes or 40 minutes, you can do that. It depends on how you are going to use it. Those are my thoughts on this particular combination of agentic orchestration, or people are calling agentic workflows. So just use it. Don't go in rush to build an AI company. Just play with them. The only way you will be better with these tools is just by working with them, just by talking to them. And there's no other way. You can learn from my experience, your friend's experience, but the main thing you learn about the strengths, weaknesses, and opportunity about these tools is by using. So if you like my video, just hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.